Here's a real first question.
Okay.
Is it half and then a space pace, or is it HalfPace?
It's actually HalfPace.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's actually an Italian word.
HalfPace. Yeah, like that.
And
Salsa.
it is one word. The P is capitalized.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I messed up, guys.
Oh, this is wow.
Yep.
Our writer
So
specifically
this is what
says
you've been telling everybody in
pronounce it
Lakeland that we're
HalfPace.
half pache.
Half pocket.
Yeah.
I've been doing a hard K noise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was
Common
actually
mistake.
half Pacquiao because we were watching a lot of boxing. So
Huge Manny
yeah,
fan.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Maybe You're Like Me. So happy you're here today. I'm here with the guys from HalfPace. We got Joel and Austin. Guys, how are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good.
Doing great. I am very, very hot right now.
I'm doing better than Austin. Whatever
Yeah.
he says, I'm way better.
All right. So let's play a quick game of how hot do you think it is outside right now, according to my Apple Watch?
Oh, according to Apple.
Mm-hmm.
94 feels like 117.
Ooh.
Okay. It's a solid guess.
97 feels like 107.
Ooh. I don't have the feels like, but it is 94 outside, according to the watch.
Oh!
Well,
Get
he
up.
cheated.
So,
So,
way outside. I saw him sneak a peek at my Apple Watch.
Mhm.
He's got excellent vision.
Yeah.
All right, so this has already gone off the rails. So welcome to Maybe You're Like Me. I'm happy you guys are here, even though it's hot outside and currently inside. And it only started getting hot when you guys walked in. So
we're actually
was it the-
responsible
was it
single-handedly
the-
for global warming.
Was it the Tommy shirt or no?
is your Tommy
Yeah.
Hilfiger shirt?
It was either that or Dave Matthews Band t-shirt that I was, but
Are you also wearing a Dave Matthews
Yeah,
t-shirt?
that's why I'm so hot.
All right. So I'm just going to go ahead and preface this whole episode with this.
Sorry.
This is number one. I'm sorry. Number two, this is the most scared of a podcast episode that I've ever been.
Yeah.
Good.
Because, all right. So for everybody listening, you ever meet somebody or some people and you just immediately click and like senses of humor are the same? That is this, and it's real bad. And so I don't know where this episode's going today, if we're going to make it through this episode, if it's going to see the light of day or any of the above, but I'm so excited you guys are here.
I'm excited
You know,
to be
you
here.
could, if all comes to worse, you could like start a Patreon page and then you can do like that, like
Yeah.
hidden content, like pay $5 and see this Thou Shall Not Be Aired episode.
Let's be honest. How many people are going to pay real money to see this happen?
It's a test.
This will be for our test markets. Okay. So yeah, let's just, I'm happy you guys are here.
Happy
but
to be here.
Yeah, happy to be here, man.
Joel, I've known Joel for are we at 10, 12 years now?
Has to be, yeah.
That's
Has to be
crazy.
12.
And then Austin, we are at 6-8 months now.
6 to 8 months. Been coming to Access on and off since probably 2019.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So we've met here and there, but I've just started to get to know you a little bit better in the last couple of months, and that's been, I love it.
Been great. Awesome.
And Joel,
Sorry.
there's some people, so I have this problem with some people, and it's like there's a very select group of people, and you both fit in this category of, I don't know if I've ever had a serious conversation with either of you. It always goes into like random tangents and bits, and at some point, like I'm doing like a pirate accent, and there's no reason behind it except for you guys are just fun. And I think as an adult, like you have like people that stray super serious and you have people that stray super fun. And I always tend to lean towards people that stray fun. And you guys are prime examples of those people. So welcome to the podcast.
Likewise. Thank
Yeah,
you.
thanks,
Love
man.
it. Yeah.
Okay, so the podcast is Maybe You're Like Me, and this is the first time that I've had a duo in person, which is also a little scary.
Yeah.
I had to find more microphones and everything. This is
We're going to get a big trench coat and be on each other's shoulders for it and kind of pretend to be one person.
that would have
but
been better for me.
The funny thing is that every single time we hang out, people are like, "Oh, you guys are like you brothers or
Those are like brothers.
Yeah.
We both have brothers that don't really look like each other.
No, but genuinely, like you guys kind of look like each other. So
I'm sorry to hear that, man. Sorry.
Mhm. Yeah. For every inch of hair that Joe cut off, he gave it to me. So.
oh man, this is going everywhere. So you guys have started a project, and it's a band, and it's really cool and it's really good. For everybody out there who doesn't know about HalfPace, tell us about it. What is HalfPace?
We're going to alternate one word and one other word. Okay. So
Okay.
we,
Our
a,
band.
that's it.
Well,
so we
episode
practiced, we
over.
rehearsed on the phone for that. No. We're
How did it start? So
How did the band start?
I would say we always wanted to do something music related. And I feel like, I mean, Joel is easily the best guitar player I've ever met, known for sure. And
you know guitar players.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I only listen to
So how long have you guys known each other to get this whole thing started?
Wow. Yeah, we knew. I mean, I think we always knew of each other, just like local, Sarasota, Burlington music scene. Joel was in a band back in the day, Manhattan Roar, and one of my best friend was kind of also in the scene, playing in bands like throughout Sarasota nightlife.
Yeah.
R.I.P. We
little band called Coldplay.
Yeah, exactly. They started at nightlife in Sarasota, actually. Yeah.
Who knew?
Yeah. But I mean, just through mutual friends, always knew Joel, always saw him on stage. But yeah, fast forward a few years later, and me and my fiance, who we actually get married in a few months. But yeah, Kelly,
sorry,
my
ladies.
fiance, he's taken. Kelly, my fiance, and Joel have been friends for got to be at least well over close to 15 years.
Yes, and she's hands down one of the best singers I've ever heard.
And she is. And the funny thing is that for the longest time, I thought Joel never liked me. I actually thought that he had a verse.
Jury's still out on this one.
But yeah, no, we've been ever since Kelly and I started dating. I got to see him a lot more because just of how close Kelly is to Brooke and Joel, and it's been worse ever since. And everybody just says we look like each other.
Austin was, because I've always dabbled still in music and doing things, and Austin was like, "Hey, you should continue to do things, but with me, and we should actually do it." And so he kind of gave me that nudge that I needed to actually just do something and have somebody to talk to week in, week out, and be like, "Where are we with this? Where are we with that?" And so he kind of,
I'm very forward.
Yes,
you know what I mean. I just motivate, because I know the talent was there for sure, and I feel like, what was it? HalfPace. We were at Cobb and Penn, ironically enough, local Lakeland watering hole.
Ooh, okay.
And
by the way, and he's not from Lakeland too. I live in Lakeland, but he's actually from Bradenton, so we have a long distance relationship.
Oh,
LDR.
Yeah, exactly. I call this city the city of red lights, because I feel like every time I get to his house, I'm waiting at 10 to 15 different red lights. Sorry, guys.
That is actually, they're voting on that soon. They're going to change it to that. So
cool.
I'm happy that you.
They're going to get rid of all the swan stuff. Remove the swans from Lake Morton, and
just one big red light.
Put more red lights up.
Be like Kmart in here. No, it's blue light. My bad. Moving on. So musically, what do you guys do in the band? What's the makeup? Joel, you're obviously the singer.
Yes. I sing in this instrumental only band.
Thank goodness.
Actually, we do have words in the last song on the album, but I'm not even on that. So so I play guitar, piano, and bass for it. And then Austin plays the guitar, lays down the guitar.
Yeah.
And then, we just kind of throw those ideas together. We kind of write the drums together as well. And then we had good, awesome studio musician to lay those down.
Edgar Manso from
super good
Orlando. I believe it's, forgive me, Edgar, if you're watching this, Orlando, Florida. Dude eats drums for breakfast. Literally, he's amazing.
He's so good.
Like when it was, and it's actually pure happenstance how we kind of, we had a drummer lined up. Unfortunately, some family, obligations came up at the last minute, and our producer was just like, "Well, I have somebody that could work for you." He's like, he does prog metal, progressive metal. And we're like, well, at this point, I guess we have no choice. Dude literally had 24 hours.
He had 24 hours. He comes in with a notebook full of notes. He had listened to the songs the night before. He had a notebook full of notes and just sat there, and within 12 hours recorded every single song.
Yeah.
And flawlessly.
So HalfPace, you guys it's called, the genre's post rock.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you're not a music knower of terms and stuff, post rock is more instrumental, more heavy guitar driven, and it's complicated.
Mm-hmm.
And so for a guy to have the music the night before and come in and do the drums for you guys, I didn't know that story until right now. That's next level. That's nuts.
Yeah.
And there's one song, actually, it's in 7/4, but it has weird groupings of 7/4, so it ends up being 21/4. But he didn't have any no problems with it, no qualms with it. It's all right, that's exactly what I'm doing. And he looked at his notebook the whole time recording it and nailed it.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So if we ever do we already talked about it, that if we ever eventually, which we do want to play live shows, it's he's the only drummer that we're using. We will make sure that he plays, because it's just, he did this song so much justice.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. So a lot of people have a dream to be in a band or write music or record an album or do all these things. But what was it that it sounding like it was Austin that kind of pushed you guys to actually make it happen and to do it?
Yes.
But what was it what was the like the thing that pushed you over the edge is like, let's do this?
I think I know what this is, but
drugs.
Yeah, exactly.
You edit that out.
Yeah, it was drugs. A lot of alcohol. No, actually, yes. Yeah, I would say that. No, we were like, I again, like go back to like when we were at, I think I remember we like wanted to do like an indie rock project. That was kind of like what we were set on.
Yeah.
But then it wasn't until you turned me on We Lost a Sea, which is like
great post rock.
And I will, and I don't know if I ever told you, I think we told you about We Lost a Sea, but Departure Songs by We Lost a Sea is easily one of the greatest post rock albums of all time. It's one of my favorite records. And he showed me that record through a YouTube page, which I'm sure we'll get into in a little bit. But that, like, we listened to that and I feel like it just influenced so much. It was just such a great thing. And we were just like, I feel like that was kind of like where we're like, we should do post rock. Yeah. And I feel like that could have been where.
And I would say it's not like they're not like a sounds like thing. We don't really sound like them, but it was them that gave us that push.
Yeah. And then we were still, and I think with like this record, while it's not like 100% post rock, we still kind of like fit in those like the emphasis of post rock crescendos, you know, odd time signatures, longer songs, things like that. But like also it still has like your indie rock to a degree. Mm-hmm. So
that's cool. And you said it before, you guys haven't, like, you're not playing live shows currently and you're not touring and doing all that stuff yet.
We have full-time jobs.
You got to make the ends meet somehow. But you guys, you've put out an album already and it's been well received. It's cool seeing you guys post on Instagram and on the internet that like this is on another post-rock playlist on Spotify, and people are finding you guys and connecting with you. And so I'm happy that you guys took the chance, took the drugs, whatever it was. I'm just kidding. And you decided to actually make it. And so that there's a lot of people that, again, that they've got these dreams, but they never take that next step. And so it's cool to be with people that are taking their next step and trying to make it happen. So good job, guys.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. I think also, like, I mean, with the name of the band, with all that stuff too, it kind of led to, that was the catalyst for it. Like, but the whole HalfPace concept is kind of like you're in that weird in-between phase too, because we're obviously adults and we're doing other things with life, and I have kids and all that, but also
I have a dog.
And I'm like, I'm kind of stepping out of that music scene that I used to be in when I was like younger and stuff like that. But it's kind of that in-between, that awkward, like, I don't know if you know what an actual HalfPace is. Do you know what HalfPace is?
In music?
In real life.
No, bring the heat.
HalfPace is an in-between place of stairs.
Okay.
So it's boring. It's actually kind of boring. But that it's more of like a metaphorical thing. Not to get too deep or whatever, but it's a metaphoric thing, a kind of in-between pace, like place in life. In between, like kind of stepping out of maybe the earlier playing music and touring and stuff that I did younger, and kind of stepping into the adult life, but still having that in-between ground. So that's kind of the whole point behind it too. And that's why maybe we don't play shows and stuff. We're still creating. And I think that's also why, like, stepping out to do something creative, you almost kind of feel awkward doing it now at this age.
For sure.
But once you do it, it's like, oh, finally. And just like even reading some like YouTube replies and stuff like that and comments, people get it. I'm like, oh, cool. Like it's kind of, it validates, edifies like the work we did to do it. Feels good.
Yeah, like the guy that was just like, oh, this album cover. Like
some guys at the album cover, he's like, I can't look at this album cover without crying. And I'm like, and I was like, it seems like melodramatic, but I was like, no, that's perfect. That's what I want somebody to feel like. That's awesome.
I get comments all the time. People cry listening to this podcast, and that is not the intent. And so I'm happy for you guys getting those, but not for me so much. Just kidding. But yeah. So, all right, you guys heard the podcast. You know how this goes. The first date round. I feel like the three of us on a weird, like I don't know if I'm the chaperone on this first date, watching you two knuckleheads be morons together, but that feels right. But so first, Aaron, you want to ask the right questions. You don't want to just ask about, do you like cheese? And obviously
no.
Oh, well, yeah.
Yes. Gosh, what people don't. Unless you can't.
I know people that they have the ability to eat cheese. They choose not to enjoy cheese.
I mean, that's a different level of crazy.
What's your favorite cheese?
Let's play that. Let's play What's Your Favorite Cheese?
Actually, I've been meaning to talk to you guys. I'm starting a new podcast called What's Your Favorite Cheese?
Actually, we have an album coming out.
I saw the artwork. It made me cry.
It's just
oh man,
it's eating a piece of cheese.
Is the album called This Music's Really Gouda?
Oh my goodness gracious.
Oh,
you dirty man.
I don't know that many cheese puns. I can't counter. I'm sorry.
Neither can I. I was trying to think like for a good 5 seconds before I said that.
No, nothing.
Wow, you guys got a lot of
And
holes.
he's the
in your-
wittiest person on earth.
Oh,
Literally.
no. We're
Literally.
gonna go the Swiss cheese joke.
What? No,
I'm
Who
gonna
would do
intercept.
that?
I'm gonna stop that one right there.
Stop it in its tracks. All right, so first date round. Yeah, you guys get it. So I heard this question on the internet the other day, and I was trying to think of who would be the best person to ask this to, and I feel like this is us. Are you guys ready for this? If you could only eat 3 colors for the rest of your life, what 3 colors are you eating? So the foods you eat have to be that color. What are you guys thinking?
To reference It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, blue, because blue has all the antioxidants.
Antioxidants.
Dan DeVito quote.
Okay.
Antioxidants.
All right, so let's just go ahead and break this down. What are you eating that's blue? Just
All the good foods are blue. He's
just blueberries.
What episode is that?
It's the episode with the waiter.
Oh, the waitress?
No, the waiter. He lives with the waiter.
Oh, yes. Who just shows up every like 5-6 seasons. Yes.
Just letting you guys know, I'm going to cut that whole thing and play like elevator music over it. So
I'm thinking.
anytime you guys go off on a long rant, it's just going to elevator music.
I'd
Hopefully
say-
you guys music.
Okay, to bring it back home, I would say green
Okay.
because of, you got to have
You want some vegetables?
Got to have your veggies.
Okay.
You know,
Do
your
you?
vegetables,
Okay.
iceberg, spinach,
Okay.
arugula.
No, I know what vegetables are. Go ahead.
No, keep going.
Listen more.
Red.
Okay.
Okay.
You going
spicy,
meats?
spicy food.
Okay.
Spicy foods.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, hot sauce, love it.
Okay.
And then brown, the color of steak.
Okay.
Dark
Well, you
brown.
also had red in there
I'm
already.
going to counter that. I'm going to say color of my steak would be
I mean,
red. I like mine
Oh.
rare.
Well,
so.
on the crust, the dark
the
brown
crust.
crust. Yeah, please. I don't cook steaks well done.
I cut the crust
Just
off
so you
mine.
know. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like a good char.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
Yeah. So I'd say, green, red, dark brown. I like.
Okay.
I'm looking at you to make sure if that's okay.
No, wrong. Do it again.
Do it again.
Ooh, that's a tough one.
It really is.
I mean, green because we have vegetables. I'm gonna start listing some here. We got iceberg.
Wait. What? Vegetables?
Vegetables.
Okay.
Okay. So we got green out of the way. Get that one out of the way. Yellow. There's some good yellow things out there.
Okay.
Cheeses. I'm thinking cheese.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Hey,
There you go.
Yeah.
What's your favorite cheese?
Full circle.
Can we do a mini podcast in the middle of this breakaway?
You could get sponsored by cheese. Boar's Head.
Yeah. Today we're actually sponsored by Kraft Macaroni and Cheese.
Oh yeah, that's not really cheese though. I'm not allowed to say that. Cut it.
Yeah. Austin, can you stay? Joel, can you?
Yeah,
Can
it's
you
fine.
step off for a few minutes? That'd be
Men in
great.
suits are walking up.
See, we're looking how long it would take before this would go completely off the rails.
Yeah,
Like
this is
10,
not-
12, 11,
not good.
11 and a half minutes. And
Yeah.
you're already leaving. We'll go outside.
We're
And then
45 minutes into this mini podcast right now about cheese. So
Another color I'd like to eat. Red, definitely red for steaks and stuff.
Okay,
like that.
okay.
And then there's not really many options of food colors, are there?
you got white. So
yeah, white's a
mozzarella.
good stuff. I'm gonna want like all the dairy is white, pretty much, right? Yeah. I'm gonna go white. Did I already say white?
I don't know. I think you're at 9 colors
And
now.
then I'm gonna say turquoise. We're working
Yeah.
with turquoise.
Purple.
Purple. I haven't eaten enough purple. I'd
Mhm.
say you gotta have purple in your diet.
Eggplant.
Think about the food pyramid and the colors.
Quick cue. Is watermelon green or red in this scenario?
Goes back to like my steak. Is it brown
you
or
can
red?
only eat the rind if you're choosing green.
Well, that's what I wanted.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't
I'm
like
going
water-
green.
I don't like watermelon.
You don't?
I've never liked watermelon.
All right. Welcome
Really?
to Hot Takes with Austin.
Yeah. Wow.
I haven't. I'm really angry right now. No, I just never did. I feel like my parents like always got it growing up, and I
Mhm.
just like they brought it home so much, and I just like sometimes like you have a food that you like when you're growing up, and you're like, and then you just get to a certain age, and either you don't like it or whatever. I've never liked watermelon.
Who
So
hurt you?
yeah.
It's a few years
Force
back.
feeding my dad was force feeding me watermelon at a very young age. It was very, very scary.
Very important.
Yeah.
It's a few years back. Me and my wife made this deal with each other. Her favorite fruit is pineapple, and mine in the summertime. Like I love me some watermelon.
Yeah.
And so we made the deal that if we bought a watermelon, she would cut it up for me, and if we bought a pineapple, I'd cut it up for her because pineapples are kind of a pain to cut up.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
she got the mega raw end of that deal. I ate like 8 watermelons that summer. Me and the boys just went to town. It was not good.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I love pineapple. Love it. That would be a yellow food category because I listed 5 colors.
Mhm.
But it hurts your mouth after a while. That's a fruit that can kind of bite back,
Yeah. I think it like has like acids or something that actively
Yeah.
attack your mouth.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
totally worth it. Totally worth
Love
it. All right. So we've covered.
What about your colors, man? What
Yeah,
are you
now I'm
eating?
thinking, is there any foods that are green?
I'm thinking about vegetables.
No,
I'm just gonna throw that out there. Vegetables.
What are
So we're talking iceberg.
I want to say I want to say green as an adult, but also at the same time I want to have fun. I don't want to be eating vegetables.
Yeah.
But that said, a few weeks ago I was out of town and I couldn't control what I was eating for like a week and a half. And so it was just a bunch of like really heavy, just like meat and potatoes and whatever. And there was not a vegetable in sight for this whole trip. And we finally got to this place, this restaurant, and it had this this vegetable souffle or whatever. And I just ate 2 full plates of it. So I'm rethinking green.
Yeah.
It's on the cusp. Yellow for eggs.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Are eggs yellow or are they white?
Are you eating the shells or are you eating the?
Oh, of course.
Oh, okay.
They go to waste. It's
Yeah.
good for you. Antioxidants.
Antioxidants.
meat. Sunny reference.
Boop boop boop. What other colors are there?
See, it's tough.
Oh, I can only see in black and white. So
You don't see color?
no.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, that's not true at all. I can see all the colors. I've tasted the rainbow. I've had Skittles. You can still have Skittles.
Yeah.
No matter what.
Yeah. Choose carefully.
Yeah. So that's good. I can have some candy. I think I'm going red. And I've been thinking about this. I've been thinking about tan just for fried foods.
Okay. If you fry anything, man, you can. If you choose tan, you could fry, and there you go. Loophole.
I would just live at a fair.
Loophole.
Mm-hmm.
I would choose dark brown and then just dip everything in chocolate.
Absolutely.
Yeah, there you go.
Love it. So,
including eggs.
Yeah, there's just so many good colors that you could eat. So, moving on here, let's keep it going here. What is the funniest advice that a parent ever gave you?
That's a tricky question.
That is so difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like I need you to like.
You mean to start this one off?
Yeah.
Okay, so for me, I don't know if it's funny. Like this is funny and helpful, I feel like. But my dad used to be in charge of a kids camp during the summer, and something that I don't even know if it was advice for me, but it's just something he always said was take care of the cafeteria workers. And so like he was flirting is the wrong word, but he was just always like doting on all these cafeteria ladies. And in turn, they took care of him. Like, so like if he needed food or if honestly, when you're running a camp, you just always need the cafeteria team on your side. And so I always took that as you take care of people that take care of your food or
absolutely.
Take care of people that are taking care of you. And so I am always the nicest person to servers and to anybody who's anywhere near my food or like retail workers, anybody who's like helping me in any way, shape or form. I'm just always, that's not that funny though, but.
Well, I read it as your dad was more like, hey, yo, take care of those cafeteria workers, like as in you're a mafioso.
He is.
And he wanted them to disappear.
Yes.
Okay.
No, I never saw those ladies again.
Exactly. That's what I was
outside of that. Yeah. Forget about it.
No, that's absolutely true, though. I like anytime I'm talking to customer service people, I sound like a different human being on the phone.
Can we get a quick example of your?
Hey, was that Susan? Oh, Susan, thank you so much. Okay, what I was wanting to do, so you accidentally mailed me someone else's bill and charged $1,500 to my account. I know it was a mistake, Susan. But did you
literally just like do this last night? Because that's very, very fluid.
No, like I talked to like AT&T like that the other day when really there was like a really bad problem, and my wife's in the background like, no, you need to tell them.
Yeah.
She wouldn't talk like that, but I was like, oh no, it's okay, Susan. I know this isn't your fault. Susan, was it? Susan, listen.
You get very name repetitive. Hey, Susan.
No, I don't know what it is. I cannot remember people. I'll meet them and I will not remember their name, and I'll have my wife help me and stuff like that. And if a waiter walks up to me, I remember their name for like the next year. I don't know what it is. I think it's that. It's in me. It's that like you have to respect people that it sounds almost manipulative. Like you want something from them. You want the good service. You got to be nice to them.
Yeah.
You see, I worked in retail for like probably a good 6 or 7 years, in and out of college, first jobs. And I'm like, I definitely respect, the retail workers and things like that. Like very, very nice to them whenever I can be. But I can be a little bit of a Karen. Like at times, like if like you like, if I'm at like Tommy Hilfiger, and I'm buying, clothes or whatever, just like anywhere in general, like when you like, can see somebody that just clearly isn't enjoying their job, or they're just like, in general, I'm kind of just like, you okay? You doing all right? You're all right. I don't know. I just feel like sometimes
I do that too.
there's
Like if somebody has a task and they're not doing it well, I'm like, this is your job.
Yeah. And listen, customer service is not easy.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely respect anybody that
when
does
you pull out
that
your
job.
cell phone, put it in their face and start berating them.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Then, like, asking to speak to the manager when they are the manager. That's like when you
With this haircut.
with that haircut too.
Yeah.
But that's how you got that good deal on that Hilfiger shirt you're wearing.
Yeah.
So
product placement. We're gonna show up in like the organic like.
I was going to
rankings.
ask you, why is there a security tag on that still?
Beep. Oh, there we go.
Well, podcast is over. Come back again for another episode of What's Your Favorite Cheese? What about you guys? Do you have any funny parent advice you have ever received?
my mom had a lot of like little isms that she would repeat, like Chicago weird things to say. Like like was it like you can pick your nose, you can pick your friends, you can pick your nose, but you can't pick your friend's nose. Like silly things like that.
For sure.
Like you tune a guitar, you can tune a piano, but you can't tune a fish. Like silly things like
I've
that.
heard that before.
But those that's not advice.
My mom is
Yeah.
a little Southern, and so her little phrases like that were like, if it's a snake, it would have bit you. If
Yeah,
if you're
it's
looking for
close
something
by.
and it's close by,
Yeah.
I don't know that, or who left the barn doors open if you can't get in, like merge into traffic. All these people keep coming. I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah, there's
Very
a lot of
Southern.
those. Yeah.
See, I have like two Northeastern, like Jersey Italian parents who just are incredibly blunt, like with their advice. I mean, I love them to death, but like, my mom sometimes just like, like, Austin, everything's gonna work out, hon. Everything's gonna work out. Everything's gonna be fine.
Sounds
You know
just
what I
like
mean? Like that, like it's gonna be fine. And my dad's like, my mom's like the very, like very positive. My dad's like just so like brutally honest at times, and he's just like, oh, who cares? Don't worry about it. It's fine. Like it's just, I don't know. It's
There are no worries in the
yeah,
Bartley
like
house.
literally, yeah. I'm like trying to think of like funny advice that like my parents gave, but it's a difficult one,
Can't think of any.
Yeah,
My parents
I
didn't give me
can't.
any advice.
Yeah, no advice. Yeah,
I never talked to my parents, so I don't know what you're
left home
talking
at 7. I left home at 17. So
I've
that
been
story I
emancipated since
just
12.
mentioned happened like 15 years ago.
The only other one I can think of, and I've talked about it on the podcast before, was my dad told me never to eat spaghetti on a first date because there's no cute way to eat spaghetti.
Mhm.
So-
I found a way. I can do it pretty good.
Oh, okay.
It's probably a little too, PG-13 for this podcast. But
Everyone, check out our new Patreon. It's called Joel Eating.
don't Google
Spaghettis.
that. Do not Google that.
Yeah, don't go.
Put
Don't.
your safe search on if you're going to. That's all I'm saying.
Woof, no one likes that. Moving on. All right, so we've first dated. I think we could hang out again. I would chaperone
Yeah.
this date again.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Although you're only looking at Joel when you're saying that.
Yeah, no, I definitely am not looking you in the eyes
That's
ever
all right.
again.
That's fine.
All right, so we're moving on to the slow round. These are a little bit more intentional, more heart than what's your favorite cheese, which I don't think we've gotten a solid answer out of either of you.
Gorgonzola.
Okay,
Yellow American.
Yellow American.
American.
I used to not like American. I mean, it has to be like Boar's Head deli slice, not that Kraft fake stuff.
Whoa.
You know what I mean?
Wow.
Yeah, I'm not a really big fan of it.
Wow. I don't know how to feel about
But
this.
I do like goat cheese though too.
Yeah, goat cheese.
Ooh.
gets
Goat
down.
cheese is
Yeah.
yeah.
Goat cheese.
I just had it last night.
Yeah.
I
Did
had
you?
chicken brine. My brother made chicken brine.
Oh, how was homemade chicken brine?
Delicious.
Oh,
This is your brother, correct?
How'd
All right.
you know?
All right. So you guys, you started a band / a label. We didn't talk about that before, but like, you're making your own music, and it's, again, we kind of talked about it before. It's a weird thing putting out creative stuff, especially in like this kind of HalfPace. And so see what I did
well
there?
used.
Wow.
So it's HalfPace.
Oh, HalfPace.
It's actually
Pronounce the
halv
L. Yeah.
with the VE.
Yeah.
Halv.
Oh,
Yeah.
Mhm.
oh, you guys
Sprechen Sie
really
Deutsch?
messed up spelling it then.
Mhm.
You
Yeah.
guys sound really, really dumb. But, all right.
Do
So
you call all your guests stuff?
yeah. I usually cut it out, but this one I'm leaving it in.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you guys, you're doing something, you're making stuff, and anybody who's creative and you've made something, there's highs and lows with it. And in the beginning of the process and before the process, when you guys are writing, what was scaring you? What scared you in the whole process?
I'm afraid of like the typical things: ghosts, monsters, werewolves.
His wife.
My wife.
Yeah. Yeah.
Iceberg.
Yeah.
We're talking
Yeah.
iceberg, romaine. Please keep that.
What do you? I mean, but like, what do you think? Like, I feel like the difficulty
fear or like things that give you trepidation, like give you pause, but not necessarily like.
Yeah, we're not talking about like boo scary. We're talking about like, things that like,
I think it's just, I think with like this specific label, I like our initial apprehensions was like, we knew we wanted to do like an experimental label, like post rock, those types of music. And like, we were worried that we wouldn't be able to find a ton of bands, things along those lines, because realistically, like a lot of labels will usually start, like local labels will typically start things depending on like the genre that's in like the town. Like, like maybe back in the day, Sarasota had a pretty big metal scene, like back in like the early 2000s and 10s, we know California has a lot of, different, like just a hodgepodge of like different like labels and artists. And I feel like starting the label was scary because it's kind of like, you're so new that ultimately, bands are taking a chance on you because like you're still, like, again, we don't really have a lot to our name, which is why we're also like, doing this HalfPace thing of giving people, an idea of like, this is the first release off of like the Same Gen Records. Yeah. A proof of concept type of thing. What you can expect from, other projects and things along those lines. So yeah. What do you think?
Yeah. Yeah. And I think when it comes to like what's nerve wracking of it, so that's for the label piece, is that kind of trying to get those people but then also I think for the band piece, it's kind of, it's very like personal to show something that you've like been working on, especially like with these songs, like the demos of them. I literally recorded like the demo ideas of them at like 3 a.m. while my kids are sleeping or my wife's sleeping and stuff like that. And like the little bit of time I could squirrel away to do this. So part of me is like, oh, it's not going to be good enough because I just barely spent time on it. It's not going to be this. And I'm going to show people this. And they're like, oh, this is all he's got. This is what he's been wasting his time on. And you feel really silly about that.
But I think a great, to that point, as we're in our 30s, obviously when you were in Manhattan, Roar, you probably had different things like touring, these types of things, like, sounding like a lot of great bands, stuff like that. And I think like when you start getting into your 30s, you kind of worry less about what people think. And for us, HalfPace, again, as Joel put it, it's like personal, but like we're making music that we want to, that we like, that we like. If I wanted to tour, if I wanted to, open for like really big bands, I would just be like a pop singer and try to, move out west or, try to move in New York City, like really big, really big areas. Not that like Florida doesn't have its, its music scene. It definitely does. But I just feel like at this point in time, we really just want to make music that like means something to us. And realistically, like with post rock, there is a huge like market like that you wouldn't really expect. I mean, of course, you're not going to hear that on TV or along those lines, but just like through the World Has Post Rock, which is a YouTube channel that we were very, very like majorly into. That's actually had us find a lot of bands. It's a great avenue for being able to find new music within that market. But yeah, I just think that it comes down to when we're in our age right now, make music that you want to listen to. And I think that's kind of like where it's at. It's like our record label is like where you can come to really be yourself, experimental, whatever you think is best.
All right. So on the other side of that, I didn't prep you guys with this question, so I'm throwing you on the line here. But on the other side of that, has there been validation to like you guys push through the scary stuff and you put something out in the world that scare, you're creating something and you're creating a whole brand around it, but has there been validation on the other side of it that like you've put all this work in? And sometimes like any business person, I was listening to a podcast yesterday with Mark Cuban and he was talking about how his initial internet company took off, but one of the people that was interviewing asked him like, well, how many times like didn't it work out? He goes, oh, hundreds and thousands. And it's the stuff that you don't see behind the thing. But because of that, you made something, and at this point there's probably a mixture of like good and bad, but like, do you feel like what you're doing has been received well? Do you feel like people are connecting with it and enjoying it?
Yeah, I'd say the biggest thing too is like I was afraid people wouldn't get exactly what I meant by some of the things in it, or like even like something silly as like the song titles or the last track, like the last song, like that song's really special to me, and like it has a lot of meaning to it, especially with the vocals being spoken over it. I was afraid people wouldn't really get it. And then we've had a couple write-ups for like different things, like different people have reviewed the album and stuff, and they've spoken really highly of it. But in describing it, they describe it to like, I'm like, yes, they get it. They totally get what we meant by that. And they get what we meant by this part. And like, and hearing again, people's like replies to certain things like that back to the guy who cries the album artwork, but I feel like they get it, and I'm like, okay, that feels good. Like,
Yeah.
they could say, oh, it sounds awful, it sounds terrible. I don't even care if they like it or not, as long as they get what I meant.
Yeah.
The biggest fear is does it translate? Does that meaning go across? And it does. And then an extra bonus is that it translated across the right way and they liked it.
That's cool.
So I feel like the liking it isn't that as important to me. It's whether or not it was what I intended it to be. That makes sense.
Yeah. And I, like we had a couple of, people like Get Alternative publication, like one of their subsidiaries, like the publications wrote an excellent review. We had a couple of like other, kind of online publications that wrote out to us, and some, like not really like overly critical, which is great. But at the end of the day, like I welcome it because it's only going to help us, and like what we can do, what we can do from here. I would say the coolest thing that probably happened like since our release was, and this is kind of bringing it back to full circle. I feel like you know what I'm gonna say, like, because, We Lost to Sea was such a like, again, not like we don't sound like them, but given the fact that they were like a catalyst for helping us start a band, just because of like how much that album meant to both of us, I reached out to him and was just like, hey man, like on Instagram, and they're out of Australia. And Mark, who is the lead guitarist and the founder of the band, I just want to reach out to him. I said, hey man, like, I just want to let you know, I'm from Florida. Me and my friend Joel wrote a record. This was definitely inspired by you. It's post-rock. If you could listen to it, like I would, greatly appreciate it. Let me know what you think. Not thinking he's going to read it. He wrote me back 10 minutes later and said, oh, I already heard it.
Whoa.
And it was like, and then
he liked it.
And he liked it. And he starts naming off all the songs, and we're just like, and I'm like texting like, oh dude, like Mark, like listen to our record. And I think that's like the cool thing is like, yeah, like, of course we want write-ups, friends, things like, but like the fact that like one of your influences knows who you are. Yeah. And like actually listens to it. And the funny, he's like Australia. So he's like, oh, it was cracking good. Like he was just like, not even saying, that's a horrible Australian accent, but like,
it made me throw another shrimp on the barbie.
Hold on a minute, I'm wrestling a crocodile.
Good day, mate. But like it was just, that was really, really cool.
That's not a record. This is a record.
It's not nice. That was super cool. And gonna keep doing what we're doing, man.
I love it. That's so cool.
Good answer.
Yeah.
Okay, so in this space, it's weird. I don't know if you've ever gone into business with a spouse or with a girlfriend or a best friend, but you guys are kind of running a small business with being in a band and then running a label and all this stuff. And so what is it like being friends in business together and doing a creative thing together? And
knowing each other's like, what makes him tick, what makes me tick, strengths, weaknesses, Joel is a good salesman, so he can talk to a lot of people. I think he has like really good about that. I've had a marketing and advertising background, so I feel like we kind of play off each other really well. One of the things that like we are really into with this label is we all not just like from management perspective, but I think like the ultimate goal as well is like studio, like actually having like a place where we can record. So it's kind of like one of your one-stop shops. And that's like a thing too. Joel's very good at Logic, so he's really good at like recording and things along those lines. And then when that point in time happens, it's again, like with marketing, advertising, I just think that we learned like what we're good at and like trusting each other to know like, listen, like I know marketing, I know that he knows other aspects of like business and how to start a business because he does have businesses. What do you think?
Absolutely. Yeah. So like it is interesting because we text each other as friends literally 24/7. Like he went to Europe like a week ago, 2 weeks ago or something, and my phone was the quietest it's ever been. I'm like, why do I seem so weird? I was like, oh, because Austin's not here. But like, so we text each other all the time as friends, but then like, and we just kind of then pepper in like, and by the way, we have to do this real quick. And anyway, silly joke, weird memes about weird things. And then like, and by the way, also on Wednesday, we're going to meet up again back on schedule now that you're back from Europe. And so it's like, it's kind of nice because we already have a running dialogue, and then to also pepper in the like, but we have to do this, we need to do this is good. And then, again, we play to our strengths. I feel like I can like kind of come up with 1,000 ideas, and those ideas won't mean anything if I don't do anything about them. Yeah. And I feel like Austin's the good one to be like, hey, let's do something about them. Yeah. So there's like a good balance there too. And I think Austin can just like throw out any topic like, hey, create this, we need to do this. And I'm like, okay, how about this? Yeah. And whereas like I have this thing, how do I get it done? He'll help me make it come to fruition. So
life is about taking risks. I mean, look at you. You started a podcast, like that took probably a lot of initiative to like actually think like, hey, I can do this type of thing. And it's the same thing with the So I'm interviewing you now. So like, what made you want to? Yeah. So why'd you start? No, I mean, yeah, it's like, it's about taking risks. It's scary to do it because again, the rejection, the things along those lines, but like, listen, you have to start somewhere. We have, again, like we're with HalfPace, we have a upcoming EP that we're really excited to probably hopefully be the second release from Sam Jin. But again, I lost my train of thought, so that's okay.
I loved everything you said.
Yeah, good.
Circling it back to
back
friendship and
exactly.
working together as a business. See, he can say things, and I'll love it no matter what it is.
It'd be funny if you just turned to me right now. Well, you're fired.
You're fired.
Fine, you're fired.
The fired. Everybody's fired. I was just listening to another podcast with Steve Martin and Martin Short, and they've worked together creatively for 3 or 4 decades now. And
have you seen years, like, well,
you've seen Planes, Trains, and Automobiles?
I did. That's not Martin Short, but it's cool.
Steve Martin?
It is.
Yeah.
So they actually talked about that.
Half pace, right?
Halfway there. But Martin Short did watch it. So
I hope so.
You're 100%.
Oh, Three Amigos.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
That was their first thing. But they were talking about how a lot of times, especially in like once you get into like their crazy stratosphere, that it's money that really messes them up. But they're like we're friends, and so we're doing this 50-50. Steve Martin made a joke. He's actually like 48-52. But outside of that, they're
because of the banjo.
Yeah, he's bringing a lot to the table.
Have you ever like legitimately watched like Martin Short on like late night? Yes. Like he is the greatest like late night guest. Like he does not care like what people think. Like
So I enjoy comedy. We're way off the track now, and it doesn't matter. But I like comedians that comedians love, and on podcasts I listen to or books I read, he's always like so highly regarded as just like the quickest, funniest, most fun person to be around. Yeah. And I love that little man. So
if you're listening to this, he loves you.
Martin Short, I know you're listening. And thank you for
thank you for Clifford. Thank you for being in Jungle the Jungle.
Ooh, good movie.
Yeah.
Tim Allen's one of my favorite actors. So I watched that movie on VHS on repeat.
Me too, dude.
So did my wife, but because of the kid. All right. Moving on. I don't want to talk about that anymore. All right. So there's a question we ask everybody on the podcast, and you guys might have different things because you're two different people. But what's something you're learning right now?
Oh, sorry. I wasn't sure where you're going with that.
Ooh.
Something I'm learning?
What's something you're learning right now?
I'm learning how to answer podcast questions.
How do you feel like you're doing?
Not good.
No, yeah, everybody agrees. Sorry, everybody. No, what do you learn for real?
I'm learning about trading securities and stuff. I'm literally getting licensed
for the past 51 minutes, guys. If you trust this guy with your money. There's gonna be a link right here.
Yeah, I think the SEC legally won't let me air this. I'm learning about securities and financial advising, but that's not exciting.
That is not an answer I was expecting. And I don't know what, like, I feel like I know a little bit about a lot of things. I don't know even the slightest bit of things to make a dumb joke about what you're learning. So more power to you. I'm happy there's people out there who know what that is because
somebody's got to do it.
Somebody's got to. What about you?
I don't have nearly as cool of an answer as that, like as life changing, but I am learning how to play bass right now.
Oh,
so that's cool. Important. So that's I just got a cheapo bass from reverb.com.
Okay.
And
real quick, reverb.com is our sponsor for today's episode. For all of your instrumental needs, please go to reverb.com/org/maybe you're like me. And they'll get you some
what would their slogan be? What would their Reverb slogan be?
It's the noise after the noise.
Is that really?
No, I just made that up.
That was so good.
Yeah, people,
I like that.
Yeah. So Reverb, you're welcome.
10% off coupon?
No.
No,
10% more.
10%.
It's a real bad deal.
Yeah, no, I bought a bass because I had always wanted to learn how to play bass guitar. And like there's like that negative connotation. They're like, oh, bass players aren't cool, man. But I actually really love the instrument. I think it's great.
I don't know if I've ever heard that.
Memes. This is just memes and stuff.
Okay.
You know, the internet
culture.
culture.
Just edit him saying that like peppered in throughout the entire podcast. Bass players aren't cool.
I'm gonna send that to Australia, and they're gonna be like, "Man, these guys really a jerk."
They blocked us.
Yeah,
it's already been blocked.
Oh gosh. So initially, when I first started learning, I'm slightly musical. When I first started learning how to play things, my parents were like, or my dad was like, I want you to learn how to play the bass first. And so, and then I was like, okay, this.
And then he made you play it. He's like, look at this loser playing bass. To all of his friends.
Again, me and my dad don't talk anymore. I don't want to. No, but no, because of that, like, I feel like I got a good understanding of like how guitar works, because bass is just minus 2 strings normally for those who aren't musical. But so like I learned like the fundamentals of guitar and stuff. So if you can figure it out and be really good at it. Oh, the reason they wanted to is like guitar players are a dime a dozen, but if you can find a good bass player, you can be in any band.
What I'm doing is like I'm just like picking records and like songs off of records that I love and just learning how to play that. Like I'm pretty sure like the first thing I did was Last Night, Strokes, those types of things. Like great record for bass. Just like developing timing, Krungbin. I don't know.
No one knows for sure.
No one knows. I mean,
it's been lost to history.
Yeah, Laura from that band is an incredible bass player. And then yesterday I was playing a little bit of Metallica. That was cool.
Okay.
Yeah. Not like, the crazy early Metallica, but like just learning like, some like melodic parts and things like that. And I thought it was pretty cool.
There is a TikTok or Instagram channel with a guy that plays bass, and he's like, he basically isolates the bass so that you can hear, like, there's a lot going on with bass sometimes. Like there's some people that like, they're just playing the root and like just keeping it 4 on the floor and steady. But there's some people that the bass parts are super intricate, sometimes for no reason, but sometimes it's just like, this is intense.
You want to know
really adds to it.
You want to know a great bass record?
Yes.
What's Going On by Marvin Gaye.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Holy crap. That guy, and I forget what his name was, but he was
Marvin.
It's Marvin Gaye. You just said it, man. That's embarrassing.
I can't come back from that one. But no, the session bass player, he played on all the Motown records in the 60s. That record is amazing. Yeah, that's a really, really good bass record.
Cool. Yeah. So you guys covered the full gamut of things, finances and security and bass. Yeah, basically.
Yeah. It's actually funny. The only like, I think negative remark we ever got on any of the reviews about our album was like, oh, I could just really have used more bass. Like saying,
that's what it was.
And I was like, it's kind of funny because we don't really have a bass player. We just kind of took turns.
Yeah, our producer like tracked most of the bass. Like it was a combination of
our will for some of that. But.
Yeah, it was like him and Joel kind of just tracking bass. Because that's earlier when you were asking, I was trying to remember like what was the little bit of criticism we got. It was the bass, which we were taking that into our next EP and we're turning it up to 11.
Only basses.
Yeah.
Here's
all
the deal.
Percussion will be done on bass as well.
There's only been like 1 or 2 bits of criticism I've got on the podcast, and it's mostly my wife. Just kidding. But no, but it's been from strangers, and I was so excited to get it because I'm like, there's people that I don't know that are listening and they don't like something. That means they listened enough to not like something. I was so excited.
Like the second I stopped crying, I called him up and I was like, hey, we should learn bass. So, yeah.
So we bought one. So now we have one bass. For this band.
Thank you, Reverb.
Yeah, thank you very much, Reverb.
We're almost gonna be a full pace here in a second at this rate.
But that is funny though. That is funny though. That like
our own
realistically there was the like and
they said that we were terrible at buying and selling securities.
Wow, you guys have turned your weaknesses into strengths. That's really incredible.
Full circle.
Wow,
HalfPace full circle.
Is that the name of the next EP? Do you want to announce that right now?
Yeah, actually, yes.
Planning stages.
So, guys, we are in the final round of the podcast here. It's the Common Ground round. So we're going to see if maybe the 3 of us are a little similar and see if maybe we're a little bit alike.
Awesome. And thank you so much for having us on the What's Your Favorite Cheese podcast. This means a lot to us.
Yeah, it's been real
cheesy.
Gouda?
Bad.
Please cut that out.
Keep that in.
I like it that you guys are self-editing this whole podcast and you will have no part.
Notes.
Yeah. All right. So real quick, you guys got your 3x5 cards. You got your marcadors there. Here we go. Are you ready for this? At a wedding, are you going beef or chicken?
Oh, easy. Fish.
Salmon.
Salmon. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. I want beef. What did you guys do? We got beef. We got chicken.
Chicken.
Austin.
Boo.
Austin Hilfiger. What is going on?
I like chicken.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like to. I like red meat too, but typically, like, if I'm eating 7 days out of the week, maybe 5 or 6 of them would be chicken. I don't know. Chicken's easy, man. You can just make it with a whole bunch of stuff.
I heard somebody that said if you can only eat the byproducts of a cow or the byproducts of a chicken for the rest of your life, which one would you choose? I say cow, because there's tons of different cuts of the beef, and then you have milk, which makes all the cheese and all that stuff. And everybody said chicken, and I was like, that is terrible. Because eggs.
Although
bacon.
it is
is a big
scary.
deal.
It is scary to cook with chicken though, because I'm always afraid that I'm like undercooking it and stuff.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I like my
As
chicken
everybody.
medium rare.
Yeah.
Really gets that.
Yeah, you want the blood. You want to get a little.
Still has the pulse.
Ugh.
Ugh, nope. Yeah. So at a wedding, I feel like beef is a safer choice.
And
sometimes.
Here's the funny thing, is that I literally have a Four River Smokehouse, which I just saw that you guys are now getting in Lakeland, which I'm jealous about.
Yeah,
That's my caterer for my wedding.
Oh,
But I am doing
congratulations.
smoked chicken. So, but it's like, beef brisket.
The hard thing with smoked chicken is to keep it lit. Am I right?
And on that note,
Why is Joel leaving? Why is he patting himself on the back? What is going on right now? He's very proud of that
Lap
bad
around
joke.
the room.
All right, on a weekend trip, are you guys going to bring a suitcase or a backpack?
Depends what my wife lets me.
Honestly, for me, this is a both situation. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. I went suitcase. What'd you guys do? Suitcase and pack.
Oh.
Joel's the odd man out this time. What are you thinking?
tell us why.
I like to pack light, but realistically, that's not good. I mean, I have a wife and kids, and we have to put everything in big bags that I have
This
to
is
carry up
just you.
and
Don't
downstairs. Just me by
think-
myself? Oh,
Yeah.
I'm taking a backpack all day. Mobility. I'm talking about if I need to get in and out of there, in, out.
Mhm.
One pair of underwear.
After American Airlines losing our luggage on the way to Europe,
Ooh,
I am no longer checking my bag.
Oh.
Backpack, carry on, baby.
is that when you bought that shirt? That
Yeah,
Tom Hilfiger shirt?
yeah.
Okay.
We're just gonna keep going, right?
Do you know how
Do you
many
wanna know- do you
Hilfiger shirts
actually-
you lost?
Do you want to know do you actually want to know about the shirt, or do you just want to keep joking about it?
No, I want to keep joking about
Okay,
it. That
cool.
sounds way better.
Can we do
to me.
both? Can we know about it and make fun of it?
Just kidding. You look very handsome. Everybody's talking about it. We just talked about byproducts of chickens and or cows. And luckily for us, our next question is all about that. With your eggs, would you rather have your eggs fried or scrambled?
Oh, dang.
Repeat the question. You're going to have to edit that
You-
one.
nope.
I talked over it.
No, it's fine. You want your eggs fried or scrambled?
Oh, that's tough.
That is tough. I love that.
I am a big breakfast guy.
Mm.
And so,
Favorite breakfast spot?
yes.
Anything.
Yeah, I love breakfast.
My house.
Yeah.
Austin's
that-
house.
Yeah. Is that an auction? An option?
An auction.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1. I went fried. What'd you guys?
Fried.
Oh, look at us. We all finally.
We're
we,
like
we
each
did
other.
it.
Cool.
What is your preferred fried doneness?
I like my things a little rare, a little runny. I used to, as a kid, I used to despise it. I didn't like it at all, and now I want yolk on everything.
Over medium.
Okay.
Yeah.
Over medium. Yeah, I'm an over medium kind
Yeah.
of gal as well.
Yeah.
Same thing. Like I used to like just a completely firm egg.
And now it kind of grosses me out. Like if it's too firm, it
Mhm.
grosses me out. At that point, I'm just going
It
to hard
happened
boil
this
it.
morning. I made
Did
like
it?
and I get kind of upset. But Kelly, my fiance, likes
She had to talk you down?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. She beat me afterwards. But
Don't
she's
mess
like,
with
"What are
eggs
you doing?" No, she's like a big fan of she likes overhard, so I typically just give it to her. But like sometimes like if it's slightly not medium, I'll get down on myself.
No, it's good. Yeah.
Yeah,
A good poached egg.
Ooh.
As an adult, like now that
yeah. The egg's Benny.
yeah, now I eat a little bit of that. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
It's
want
hard
some-
to do.
You want some egg sauce on your eggs?
Yeah, and then
Hollandaise.
throw some hollandaise on that.
Ooh la la.
All days with the hollandaise.
Love hollandaise.
I'll see myself out.
Yeah, no, there's some times where like we're back in school season and I will be in a couple of different places. And so I'm getting the boys' hair done and I am also making my breakfast at the same time. And I get back to my eggs and it's
Oh, something.
not, you got to get it at the right spot. So
Yeah.
taking a moment of silence for myself, thinking about all the eggs I've messed up. And then I'm just eating my eggs angry. All right, moving on. If you've got a night in, Are you going to have a night in with a movie or a book?
Good Lord.
Neither.
Yeah. I can't read. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. I went movie. You guys went movie. Good on us.
Yeah, it's only because I didn't know how to spell book.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's understandable.
Mike, what's your favorite movie?
My favorite movie. So for the longest time, I've had just a rote answer for this. That's the name of the movie.
For the longest time.
Yeah, for the longest time. And so my answer for the most part, and it really is true, is I love Forrest Gump. Such a good movie.
Great movie.
Good movie.
But I don't like sometimes people have like bad connotations with movies.
Mm-hmm.
So I usually try to feel out the room before I say that one. But yeah, Forrest Gump is just solid.
You cannot like diss Forrest Gump. What's your favorite scene from Forrest Gump?
Yes. I really enjoy movies and TV shows and things where they interject people into history. And so that movie is all of that.
He just happens to be there. Like in every
I love
and like
that.
the biggest the biggest things.
And like it's a super quotable movie.
Yeah.
But I love that movie. It makes you laugh, makes you cry. It's got Sally Fields. Those are my 3 big things.
You have to have Sally Fields.
Yeah,
Sally
absolutely.
Fields. Yeah.
Such a sweetheart. Yeah. What about you guys? Is there a favorite movie you want to talk about in front of dozens of people?
So I'm weird about movies now. Like I feel like it's such a big investment on time.
It really is.
I don't watch movies anymore because I'm like, it's so much commitment.
Yeah,
but instead then I'll
so much.
tinker on my phone for the same amount of time where I could have actually accomplished a movie. But I would say maybe Clerks.
Okay.
Because it's just like, I don't know, it's super.
Jersey represent.
That's a super enjoyable film. Like everything about it's super enjoyable.
Fantastic.
Has its silliness and it has but then also has seriousness. And when I first ever watched that movie, I always wanted people to actually talk like that. I was like, when I'm an adult, everybody's going to talk like that. No, nobody talks.
It all makes sense.
And I wish they did though. Oh my goodness, I wish they did.
I never knew that you like Clerks, like to this very moment.
Really? Kevin Smith is like my favorite writer director of all time.
Oh, he's fantastic.
Wow, did we just see a friendship grow?
Even more.
Right
I mean, I love Kevin Smith.
Yeah, and
I was going to say, like, it's funny that you mentioned that, but like, my favorite film, I typically gravitate towards 2, and they're like American Psycho, Christian Bale, which is fantastic actor. Goodfellas.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I know. Yeah, I mean,
2
Christian
PG movies.
Yeah, exactly.
Fun for the family.
Fun for the family. Exactly. I know. And every single time I say like American Psycho, they're just like, oh. But now I feel like it's kind of taken on like more of like a life of its own, like amongst millennials and things along those lines. Internet culture, things along like that. But
it's too fever dreamy for me.
Yeah. I am going to be honest. I've seen neither of those movies.
Really?
Neither. I have not.
Wow. Don't watch it with your kids. Yeah, actually.
Absolutely not. No, I know enough to know that that's not a great idea.
I think the Psycho is the part where you're like, oh, okay, maybe not.
Yeah. American, I don't know.
It's a patriotic film.
Oh, yeah. No, that's a movie about America.
An American Psycho in Lakeland.
Yeah.
Speaking of buying and selling securities.
Joel, as a security officer, do you agree with everything that has been said so far? All right. One last one. You guys ready for this?
Okay.
But yeah, those are good movie choices. Do you want to talk about books? You have more cards, Joel. Joel is being conservative and writing on the fronts and backs of his cards. Thank you for that. Most people just blow through their cards, but not you. You're recycling.
Oh, look at you.
Just think about the environment all the time.
All right. Jewelry. If you were to pick jewelry, are you picking gold or silver jewelry? This is for yourself, not for your significant other or your spouse. This is for yourself. This is just the color, not the actual metal. So if you're allergic to gold or silver, it doesn't really matter. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. I went silver.
Wow,
despite my gold wedding ring.
Way to go.
What are we like 3 for 6 or 4 for 6 for all 3 of us getting the same thing?
I'm bad at math, and
we'll put it down here at this guy.
Yeah. So everyone listening, please comment how many you think we got right. I don't know. I don't think there's a ton to talk about on this one. It's just a preference.
No, but I'd say because it's more of a neutral, so it goes with black accessories. It goes with brown accessories better. Whereas I'm wearing gold though. This is a beautiful ring. But this is my dad's ring, so like that's why I wear it.
That's beautiful.
If I had an option, I'd make it silver.
Very nice
I'd
ring.
hop in a time machine, and be like, Dad, get a silver ring. Have mom buy you a silver ring is what I would have said.
Yeah.
I can't do that now though.
I'm in like the process of finding my wedding band right now.
Okay.
He lost it.
So like, yeah.
Wow.
Even before I got married. It's great. Yeah.
He's shopping for one. Any advice on that?
Yeah. Any advice? Give me advice.
Here's the deal.
All Jewelry podcast.
Yeah. No, welcome to All Jewelry. I'm Mike. This is Joel and Austin. And we're talking about Austin's jewelry choices here. So here's the deal. when we bought my wife's wedding band or her engagement ring, this is way before us getting engaged. We went to a jewelry store and I was like, she put on 20 rings. And so afterwards,
I was like, take them off, please.
Yes.
Come back in the store. Yeah.
Yeah, she was not allowed. You were there. I think you were security there.
Yes. Scary officer.
She tries on all these rings. And so we leave and I'm like very much like, I need to like
pay for all these rings you just took.
Yeah. So the cops were right behind us. And so I was asking her, I was like, which of the rings did you like? Cause I was very much like, I'd like to buy the ring soon. And so she's like, I liked one that I didn't try on. It was next to the eighth one that I tried on. And I'm just like dying inside. She explained it very well, but I have man blindness. And I was like, it had a diamond on it and some other diamonds on it. And then, so I luckily somehow got her the right ring.
Wow.
Or she's been lying to me for the last 10 years and I did not get the right ring. And she's just been, and then when it came time to pick mine, it was like, all right, there are gold ones and there are silver ones. There's one's a little bit squared off, and then there's you can get some diamonds in it. And I was like,
one's made out of a metal that cannot be cut off without a plasma cutter. So God forbid you're in an accident.
Which
your
one
finger's
is that?
coming off?
That is titanium.
Not titanium. Yeah, is it tungsten? Tungsten carbide.
Tungsten is like all in right now. That's what I've been looking at.
You can't cut it off. That's all I know. If there's an accident.
Well,
please don't take any medical advice from this podcast. We are not doctors. Yeah, no, be careful with that one if you want to keep your fingies. Also, another thing that really scares me. Let's not talk about this, guys. It has been so great having you on the podcast.
Been awesome.
I genuinely was scared going into this. I was like, this could either go completely off the rails all the time, or we could stick to it.
And if you want it, the Patreon, just an additional 30 minutes of B-roll
and
of Joel saying that he's a securities seller or something like that.
Yeah, no, there is a large chunk where Joel is selling securities, and so
and again, the part where I took my shirt off. I'm sorry, I was just really heated at the moment, and I had a lot to say.
That whole bit about insider trading and how you're doing it was really cool.
Again, I'd appreciate if maybe we cut that out.
I'm happy to be one of the insiders. So that Enron thing sounds really great. I'm going to get in on that now. But all right. So there's people that they've heard this podcast and they learned, number one, what post rock is today.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, they want to try to get a feel for your guys' music or listen to it. How can they get a hold of you guys? Where can they follow you? Where can they find out about HalfPace?
Austin's cell phone number, it's 941.
Instagram at This Is HalfPace.
This is HalfPace.
Yeah. And Bandcamp, This is HalfPace FL. And really, that's our handle for YouTube, Facebook.
So there's a couple of our albums on a couple different post-rock pages on YouTube as well. You can listen to all those.
Yep, we're on all major streaming
preferences. We're on Apple.
All major streaming services, Apple, Spotify, Tidal, if that's still your thing.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Are you guys on X, which was Twitter?
We are on X.
We are on X.
Oh,
We're currently both on X.
We are. We're on X right now.
That's why it's been such a fun interview.
These lights, man.
And I was talking about which end of the pendulum it was going to be on, and it was absolutely the off the rails side.
And I will say that we are in the process of writing a follow-up EP.
Yeah.
So,
sweet. Yes.
The goal is to finish that before the end of the year.
Sounds
and
good.
The songs that we have right now are pretty awesome. So
yeah, and that one's a little more conceptual as well. They're all written together. It's like one flowing thought.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah,
gapless record.
How are the bass lines?
They're not
to be determined.
TBD.
Yeah, thank you, Reverb.
I can't wait. And everybody out there, please go listen to their album. I really enjoy that style of music. So when I heard you guys were doing this and Joel told me about it, it's been a while back. But he was something about it. I was super excited about it before it came out. And then when I heard it, I was like, this makes sense. This is a lot of fun. And in general, I listen to a lot of soundtracks and because I make videos and stuff, I'm always listening to good instrumental music. And so to find some really good instrumental stuff it's
Cool.
always a fun time for me. So I was excited, and I hope tons of people out there they dig it too. And so thank you guys for making it.
No.
Thank you for having
And
us.
thank you for being here. And for everybody
Absolutely.
out there listening, thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time here on
Yes.
What's Your Favorite Cheese?
What's your favorite cheese?
Love it.
We did it.
Yeah, that was.
Let's do it again. Let's do it again. Now hit record.
Now let's record it.
Wait, is this on?